Good evening and welcome to the Channel Studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. Philippine authorities have ordered an investigation into the crash of an Air Force plane that overshot a runway, killing 47 soldiers on board, 3 civilians on the ground and injuring dozens more. The Lockheed transport aircraft was carrying 96 people, mostly troops, when it overshot the runway at Jolo Airport in Sulu province. The soldiers were among reinforcements sent to combat Islamist militants. A spokesperson from the Armed Forces of the Philippines has said that they were looking for the flight data recorder to find out what caused the accident. There was no sign of any attack on the plane. The remaining section of a partially collapsed apartment block near Miami has been demolished over safety fears as a tropical storm approaches Florida. Explosive charges were used to bring down the last standing part of the Champlain Towers South, which had been evacuated. On the 24th of June, part of the block suddenly collapsed. 24 people are known to have died and 121 are still missing. The demolition operation was brought forward as Tropical Storm Elsa could reach Florida by Tuesday. Thousands of people on the outskirts of Thailand's capital have been evacuated, and firefighters have battled blazes for hours after a factory explosion killed one rescue worker. Local disaster authorities said 70 houses were damaged and fires were still being fought 9 hours after the explosion in the early hours of Monday. The cause of the blast that wounded 29 people has yet to be determined. Rescuers in Japan have been searching for 80 people still missing 2 days after landslides tore through the seaside city of Atami. Authorities have said an elderly couple were among 23 people rescued so far. At least 3 people have been killed and dozens are still missing after a torrent of mud swept through the city southwest of Tokyo on Saturday. Japanese media showed footage of rescue workers searching for life in the remains of crushed buildings. The Ethiopian Prime Minister says the recent withdrawal of troops and officials from the northern Tigray region should not be viewed as a sign that the government side have lost the war. Abiy Ahmed said the 8-month conflict against Tigrayan rebels had weakened them. He said the national army still had the capacity to fight, but stressed the need for there to be peace in order for Ethiopia to develop. In an address to Parliament, he did not respond to the rebel TPLF's list of preconditions for there to be a bilateral ceasefire. South Africa's former president Jacob Zuma has compared his sentencing to South African rule under apartheid.
Being jailed without a trial is not different to the apartheid's detention without trial.
The insinuation is that the apartheid government, which he fought against, treated him better than the current one. It's after judges in the case against him handed him a 15-month jail sentence last week after failing to appear before a corruption inquiry in February. Pope Francis's condition is good following surgery, with his hospitalization in Rome expected to last 7 days. The 84-year-old pontiff responded well to the treatment, which was performed under general anesthetic. That's according to the Vatican spokesperson. It is the first time Pope Francis has been admitted to hospital since his election in 2013. And finally, a 18-month-old lion, which was seized last week by Cambodian authorities, has been returned to its owner after the Prime Minister intervened. Hun Sen said the case was a special one because the owner fed the lion from a young age and loves him as a family member. He added that the lion should be kept in a cage to keep family and neighbours safe and fed properly. The owner said he was so grateful to the Prime Minister that he didn't know how to put it into words. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the Channel Studios in Lagos.